The Joshua tree. Yes, sir, baby. We all pray at the Joshua tree now. Holy cow. All hail the Joshua tree. Holy cow. Let's all bow down to the Joshua tree. Holy cow. 4 sacks in 41 games. What a great move. Okay. Holy cow. Man, you guys, and rightfully so, you give Howie Roseman the equity he's going to need for signing the Joshua tree. Holy cow. 4 sacks in 41 games. Great move here. He's a body. Okay? He's a body. And the difference between him and Zach Bond was never given a shot in New Orleans. He was never given that shot. This guy was given a shot in New England and in Kansas City. Can't stay healthy. He's one-dimensional. He can't play the run. Gee, sounds like the other guy you have on your team, and Bryce Huff. Difference is, this guy cost you a bag of Skittles, and the other guy cost you $18 million. So this is okay. This is just a nothing move. I like the C.J. Dillon deal. I like the Dillon deal more than I do this deal. Look, a pinched nerve sucks, man. I got one, and it's still, I can't sleep at night. There's no doubt. It's a nerve injury. I love the player. I think he's a really good football player. I mean, that to me was a really good move. I like that move to help out Saquon Barkley. This thing here, I mean, here's your edge rushers. Okay, here is your edge rushers. Here's your edge rushers. How do you feel comfortable walking in? Well, right now, you're still going to get a guy coming up in the draft. I'm completely in agreement with everyone. It's going to be edge now. Nolan Smith, Jalen Hunt, Bryce Huff, Joshua Uche. Oh, the Joshua tree. Those are your edge rushers. How you doing? Helmet on. Hey, man, there's no question. Howie Roseman can't do any wrong right now. No matter what he does. He's not going to do anything wrong with you guys. And every move he makes to Eagle fans is going to be the second coming of Reggie White. Every single move is going to be, this guy's the next Zach Bond. How many Zach Bonds have you ever seen in the NFL? One. Uche. Uche, baby. Let's get that Joshua tree going. Holy shit. Honest to God, I like the running back that you got from Green Bay. Injuries are an issue. Is he healthy? That's no question. Then again, get this. You said the same shit about Barkley. I'm all right with that old line. Hey, Hoss, Miles Sanders had 1,300 yards. Miles Sanders. This guy had 600, 700 yards rushing in a secondary role when he was behind Aaron Jones up in Green Bay. And maybe Howie, when he got hit in the head with that beer bottle, maybe it rattled him a bit, and he's a little bit shaky on signing guys. You know, he's a little shaky. What happened? Bang. Maybe what he did was when he got hit in the head with the beer bottle, he turned into Stephen and Jerry Jones. I don't know. I'm kidding. I mean, you got the right guy at the helm. You're doing the right things. You're crunching numbers right now because you see what your roster looks like. And I completely disagree. Look at how many draft picks you have next year. You're not going to take 1,000 steps backwards, but you already have taken you've taken some pretty big steps backwards, roster-wise. You can't deny that. And what the media and what fans are doing is you're building up secondary guys. Here, let me ask you this. How many people feel comfortable with Sidney Brown taking over for Gardner-Johnson? How many people? How many folks in here think that you're pretty comfortable? We see your response. On Sidney Brown replacing Gardner-Johnson. How many folks are good with that? Feel comfortable with Sidney taking over? No? Anybody? Comfy, okay? I'm hopeful, all right? I don't know. Ask yourself this. Ask yourself this. How come every time Vic had to go to a replacement, it was Tristan McCullum that came off the bench and not Sidney Brown once he was activated? I mean, how come he came off the bench? He was the next guy up. You keep telling me about Keely Ringo, right? How come Isaiah Rodgers was the next guy off the bench? Wasn't Keely Ringo? That's what Vic felt comfortable with. You guys be trying to tell me about Keely Ringo and Sidney Brown, and I'm like, wait, your own defensive coordinator showed you in his actions last year when he went to the bench and he had to, when players got injured, he didn't go to the guys that are in there now. He went to different ball players. If he was so comfortable knowing that they were not going to bring back Isaiah Rodgers, why did they put Keely Ringo in? The defensive coordinator's actions, his actions showed you what they did when they needed a player. Okay? I mean, Keely Ringo was there the entire season. Vic didn't go to him. Why? He went to Isaiah. So when you say all these moves and you're building these Jalen Chunk to take over for Josh Sweat, are you fucking high? That guy's a project. Here, I wrote him down. By the way, I'm not saying that the good coaching, the talent evaluating is not there. Okay? You're creating questions. Nolan Smith hurt right now. Will he be ready for the season? I'm assuming. Jalen Hunt, unproven. Bryce Huff, a free agent turd. Joshua Uche, the Joshua tree. 4 sacks in 41 games. All right. Those are your edge rushers on roster right now. Those are your edge rushers. Once again, Vic Fangio making chicken shit into chicken soup. All right. You give them the equity. They just won the Super Bowl. No question. Okay? Joshua Uche. Yeah, baby. Grade A signed by Howie. I like it. Not really, but okay. But then again, he's not going to cost you anything. It's $1 million. You know what that is? It's league minimum. He's a dude. It won't cost you anything. It's either going to be a nice sign, like it was for Oren Burks, and he's a good role player, or he'll be whacked, like Devin White. Uche! You should start calling him Joshua Penny. I like Uche. Look at this guy. I like Uche in his 4 sacks in 41 ball games. Had 1 year where he had double-digit sacks. What did the Patriots finish that year, I wonder? I don't even know. Yeah, Joshua Coochie. Bro, it's a nothing sign. By the way, a little bit of news, though. You got to love this thing here, boy. I'll tell you one thing the Eagles do love. They love that Georgia culture. They signed Montgomery Van Gorder as a quarterback coach, and he was at Georgia, worked for Kirby Smart. I think he is the former Notre Dame quarterback back in the day for Brian Kelly, and he's on that coaching staff. They love that culture, man, of winning. It's a great place to go and get coaches and players. Alabama? Well, I don't know now. With this guy, nobody running that program down there. That thing, get this. You know what? I hate to say this to my boy here, but that Alabama program will be in search of a new head coach by the end of this year. They'll be trying and begging Dabo Swinney to take that job. Okay? They'll be begging him to go in there and take over. You watch. Patriots were 7-8. He had 11.5 sacks. All right. Who was the coordinator? Belichick? Big Bill was in the building. Big Bill left. What happened? This guy turned into a pumpkin. Second-round pick. That's a big pick. That's a quality pick. Again, I don't know. This is not. Hey, always look at the move and the money. You're looking at you're giving the coaches the credit, and that's the right take. Don't give the player the take. He hasn't done shit in 4 years. Give the coaches the take. Hey, can he do something with him? Probably. But I'll tell you what, if Vic doesn't see it, he ain't playing. That guy's not going to play. If we lost the Super Bowl, you'd be outraged at these moves. Correct? Can't do it. You can't go. You have to give them the benefit that they know what they're doing. You know, it's funny. John McMullen this morning said that when Big Sil says he took you did. You lost 5 starters off of a 11-man rotation on your defensive side of the ball. That's a blow. That's half your defense. And you're going to replace them with project players and guys who were hurt all the time and guys who played half the year. And you see potential. You got more potential conversation than you do productivity conversation with the replacements. I hate the word potential. It's code for you haven't done it. Nobody uses the word with Jalen Hurts, potential. Barkley, potential. Mulata, potential. Lane, potential. Nobody. That potential bus is left. They're great players. By the way, Xander will join us at 3:30. 4:30 will be Mark Farzetta, and at 5:30 Eastern, Mark Schlereth, 3-time Super Bowl champion from Fox Sports. He will join us and get his take. We'll talk Jeff Stoutland, we'll talk Eagles, and we will talk NFL. Hit the like button, please. Super chats go to the top. Not a shitty play. He's just had shitty production. Any way you want to look at it. He's been a non-productive player. 4 sacks in 41 games and 4 starts. That's all you need to know. He's not a 3-down guy. Look how many 3-down guys you have at edge. Bryce Huff's not a 3-down guy. Joshua Uche is not a 3-down guy. We got to find out if Nolan Smith can play 18 ball games yet. Okay? All good. Get this. This guy, Joshua Uche, played for Steve Spagnuolo, right? Spags couldn't do shit with him? No, but Vic will. All right. We shall see. Hey, March 13th, possibilities for Eagle fans are endless. Still on the victory float. I got it. You should be. It's a great accomplishment. Absolutely. There is nothing wrong. We're looking at every single move that Roseman has or hasn't made and give him the benefit. Resume speaks to the results. And I agree with this. That's why you can't kill these guys. I don't think you can kill them. Not at all. There's too much winning, and there's too much postseason winning. Not killing them, but I'm not going overboard with a sign with a guy who has not done anything in 4 years and given the opportunity to. Nothing. I mean, Zach Bond, like I said, New Orleans, for whatever reason, Dennis Allen never gave this guy the opportunity to play linebacker in New Orleans. And Dennis Allen is considered one of the better D coordinators in the NFL. Never gave him a shot. Poor coaching. Okay? Poor coaching. Look at this here. Sills, he's better than Bryce Huff, Joshua Uche. Wow, that's a real, wow, what a bar you set. What a bar. Incredible. All right. Here. What do you make of the edge rushers right now? How are you feeling about them here on March 13th? Let's just say this. Add anybody in the draft. Add anybody in the draft. Anybody to this group. Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt, Bryce Huff, and Joshua Uche. And a draft pick. Pick a guy. How do you feel about your edge guys heading into the season? You're better than yesterday with a guy with 4 sacks in 41 games, says M. Reyes. Once again, dog shit take. Where's the production? How do you feel about your edge? If AJ isn't traded, do you think this will be the last? I'll get into that. By the way, we confirmed it last night. Senior executive texts me. I sent it to Howard Eskin, Angelo Cataldi, Xander Krause, and Joe. The New England Patriots have been in contact with the Eagles for the availability of a trade for A.J. Brown. Facts. That's a fact. That's not a story. Okay? Facts. There is a conversation. Do I believe it to be executed? Doubtful. But it shows you one thing. How he picks the phone up for everything. And he's open to anything. Okay? I don't know any details of a deal. I have no insight to that. That I can't make up. And I'm not going to sit here and make a compensation package up. I can only assume what that would be. The Eagles are not just going to give a Ferrari away. Especially a Ferrari that is so important to how you run your race. That's not going to happen. So, but it proves one point that I've been trying to make to you. Howie picks the phone up for everything. Does he execute it? Not always. But they're listening to New England. You still got time before the draft. Anything can change. An attitude can change. Look at Gardner-Johnson. He puts that Swifty shirt on and he's gone. I mean, here, this is what I look at your edge rushers here. Nolan, hurt. Gaelick's a prospect, potential. Bryce Huff, free agent bust. Shit, 5 sacks would be great from him this coming season. Joshua Uche. I don't know. Depth? Sure. Okay. Outside of Nolan Smith, that's very average. But hey, you weren't exceptional at the edge this past year, except for Sweat. All those guys have to replace 40 sacks in the last 5 years from Josh Sweat. I think you're going to be surprised. Josh Sweat produced before Jalen Carter was anybody. He had 11 and a half sacks. You forget that. You think he benefited from Jalen Carter? He was making sacks before Carter. I mean, that's going to be a tough replace. Plus, with the amount of snaps he plays every year. North of 500 snaps. North of 7 sacks every year for the last 6 years. It's going to be a little tough. Okay? So the edge, I don't really think there's a reason to move off of edge rusher down at 32. Here's what I think at 32. I think you're either going to take an edge rusher that you fall in love with, or you're getting out of that. You move up for what? To 15? You're going to try to move up to 15 for what? A guy who resembles the guy at 32? That, to me, they're the same guys after 15. If you're not moving into the top 10, okay, and you're not up there in the top 12, the difference in edge rushers from 15 down to 40, they're the same guy. Why would I move out of that? Get more draft picks. Build up the equity like you are building up for these next 2 years. This draft and next year. Next year's draft, you got a bounty of picks. You know what Howie's doing now? He is doing the same thing. I want to make a comparison here. Remember Danny Ainge, who used to be the general manager of the Boston Celtics? After they won the NBA championship, they absolutely blew. What did they do? They kept building up a treasure chest of draft picks. Before you know it, Brown, Jason Tatum, all these guys, they were just building up a bounty of draft picks. Look at them now. They're the best team in the Eastern Conference. And they were building up all these draft picks. That's kind of what the Eagles are doing right now. They're doing basically what the Rams did after the Rams won the Super Bowl. They're just retooling and rebuilding. Actually, if you think about it, the Eagles are rebuilding on one side of the ball. It's not a complete rebuild, but it's clearly a defensive rebuild. How do you not look at it as a rebuild? I mean, everyone's like, the Kelee Ringo conversation is hilarious. The D coordinator didn't even go to Kelee Ringo. He went to Isaiah Rodgers. He never went to him. And yet you think he's a replacement for Slay. Oh, okay. You got to wait and see what. Hey, look, me too. September's a long way off. However, it really isn't. You got critical decisions to make on how you're going to rebuild your defense. You know, I mean, how do you not look at losing 5 starters as a non-rebuild? What you talking about here? I can see losing 1 or 2. And let's face it, Howie Roseman signed one guy that he wanted. Zach Bond. He signed one guy that he really wanted. Would you move up for Starks, the kid from Georgia? He looks good. Move up? You really think the Eagles are going to draft a safety at 32 or move up to draft the safety at what, 20? No way. If anything, they move up, they're going after an edge rusher or a D tackle or an OT. And if the kid Tyler Warren happens to be in near, maybe they move up to get him. There's only one tight end in the draft that's worth moving up to get, and that's the kid from Penn State. I think the kid from UM's good, and the kid from Bowling Green looks pretty good. But I could probably get them in the second or third round. Look, every time that guy makes a move, it's going to be a gold star move to Eagle fans right now. No matter what the production says. It's going to be a fucking second coming guy. But hey, man, that's the equity that the fans have because you know why? You won a Super Bowl. You're going to be on a victory parade and on the JAKIB float for the next 3 months. Rightfully so. It's not a rip. It's not a rip. Okay? The difference is every season is different. Every year is different. And since 94 in the salary cap, every team that comes back is completely different. You have more turnover this year than probably you had even after 22. Absolutely. Hey, supers go to the top. Please hit the like button. Give me a total on the likes. But by the way, I don't think you're doing one thing wrong. Not one thing wrong. There is no criticism here. You got to balance your cap. You got to make tough. You know what you're doing? You are acting like the Patriots during their Super Bowl run. Got to make tough choices. You got to move off of Richard Seymour. You got to move off of Darrelle Revis. You got to move off of Randy Moss. You've got to move off of players you don't want to lose. That's the price of winning. There's nothing wrong with that. And true, what you have is you have the structure on how you do business. Okay? So the key to this draft for Howie will be Jackson Dart. He's talking about the Ole Miss quarterback. Howie needs Dart to fall to 32, so a quarterback needy team wants the 5th year. If Dart goes early, there's no player worth trading up for. I don't think you could play a game like that, Bob. I think you need to make sure that you have a roster you feel comfortable going on that side of the football, going into the start of the season with. Right now, when you look at that Eagle defense, the only thing that's comforting is Jalen Carter, Q, Cooper. That's all I feel good about. The rest, we'll see. Do you understand that this year you have to build continuity, culture, and you also have to build competitive edge? Everything was taken a blowtorch to. The cohesiveness is gone. Those guys didn't start with each other. What you have left. Different starters are in the building now. Completely. Half the roster's different. Half the defensive roster, that's a rebuild. Okay? They took a blowtorch to it. I don't care what John thinks. Losing 5 of 11 starters. I don't know how you sit there and make that sound better. Well, with the proper replacements. It's funny. Like I said, they went to Tristan McCullum when they were looking for a safety. They weren't looking for Sidney Brown. They were looking again at McCullum. And from what I understand from Clint Hurt, the guy who's penciled in right now at starter at safety, is not Sidney Brown. It's Tristan McCullum. Jalix Hunt's penciled in. Okay? Howie's mistake post-17 Super Bowl was extending players who were older and in decline. Hey, Latin Inferno, you let go of guys, or you had to let go of guys that were 25 to 27 years old. What old guy did you let go? Slay? Okay. He just signed a 1-year, $10 million deal with the Steelers. All right. Eagles signed tight end Harrison Bryant on a 1-year deal worth up to $2 million. Okay? I'm believing, if I'm not mistaken, he's a blocking tight end. Okay? I think he's a blocking TD tight end. But, I'm going to make a point here on where they're going. It's a good question. Who's Harrison Bryant? These are dollar shore deals. These are dollar shopping deals. Hey, get this. Adam Schefter said it. More money's coming off the cap of the Eagles here. They're signing players. They're going to be second and third day guy signings. You're not making any more significant signs when it comes to any type of free agent. Harrison Bryant? Sure. Joshua Uche? Okay. Look, it's the price of being the champ. But hey, let me tell you, and I'm going to say it one more time to you. Half the rosters in the National Football League are undrafted free agents or low-drafted players. Can't pay everybody. That's where the Eagles are. It's okay. And dude, this Uche thing, I'm Switzerland on it. I don't really give a fuck. He's fast. Sure, okay. He ain't productive. There's some Dallas Cowboys type signs. How he's washed. Yeah, all right. I'm how he's washed with 2 Super Bowl wins and 3 appearances in 8 years. Brian, I'm not going there. Okay, I'm not going there. All right. Who? Oh, man. Harrison Bryant. He's the FAU kid. 9 receptions, 86 yards. Go fucking now. Let's effing go. How you doing? Yeah. FAU kid, 86 yards. Who did he play with last year? Hang on here. People are sending me info on the kid here, man. Look at that kid. Played with the Raiders. Yeah, well, you ain't going to get a lot of playing time with that kid from Georgia there. So, I don't know. 9.6 yards game. Look at that. And no touchdowns. 9 catches. Another diamond in the rough, right? How he gets the equity. 86 yards. The Joshua tree. Hey, thank God they won the Super Bowl. Or Big Sills would be fucking elbowing this guy in the chin. Okay? Hey, you know how hard it is for me not to fucking goof on these moves? I can't goof on these moves because you won the Super Bowl. Coaching and defensive core kept us top 10. Yeah, okay. You're right. Your defensive core were your 25, 26-year-old D linemen too, guy, and Slay. So this guy right here, Gooby, thinks losing Slay and losing Milton Williams and Josh Sweat is going to be an easy replace. Sure. One of the greatest defenses, if not the greatest defense in Eagle history. We got the next guys. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. And then you turn around and you sign Joshua Uche. Yeah. Hey, man, Joshua Uche and Jahan Dotson. I love them. Great. Pumper words are washed. Smells like a hockey glove. Thank David. Trey Hendrickson? Absolutely not. Why would I go Trey Hendrickson? I need draft picks, dog. I need players over the next 2 years to keep retooling my football team. That's what I need. Here's my boy Pomp. Great signs. Guy with 86 yards. Great sign. Gerard Roseman at his finest. Yeah, this is really Rose McGadden. If we rebuild, just put Ramondo at tight end, and I'm good with it. How you doing? Oh, yeah, by the way, Goddard's still on the team. That's a good one. So, got a long way yet till September 8th. Hang in there with me. That edge rushing core, I look at it, I don't know. I'm sure everyone in Philly loves it. Probably the best edge rushers in history. I look at that and go, some work to do. How many 3-down guys do you have in that group? Nolan Smith? Nolan Smith played well for 7 games. Can he do it for 20? Question. Jalix Hunt, can he play 18 ball games? North of 430 reps. Find that out. Bryce Huff, will he have a comeback? Will this guy have a comeback year? Will this guy be like, don't call it a comeback? Will that be his theme song? LL Cool J, help me out here. And Joshua Uche, 4 sacks in 41 games. All right. Can Vic work his magic here? Maybe. Sills, are you giving the coach the equity in this? Yeah. I saw him recoup some careers and make one guy a generationally wealth for the rest of his entire life in Zach Bond. Yeah. I'll give him the benefit. He deserves it. And the Eagles are testing Eagle fans' patience with some of these moves. You can't call them shitty moves. You know why? Last year, people were saying the same shit. So you don't know. But last year, you had core dudes. You had Milton that you drafted and developed. You had Josh that you drafted and developed. You traded for Slay. Slay wasn't a Bradbury sign off the street. He was a trade that you gave equity to Detroit to bring him in. I like the Dillon sign. I like that sign. I'm good with him. Injuries will be an issue that I have for him. Absolutely. Hey, dog, when you get a pinched nerve like that and I'm telling you, they don't go away. Feels like your arm's broken. That is a serious injury because it's a nerve injury, and it could be something to do with, again, an onslaught of concussions. Okay? Here's something here, Samuel. Great take here. Guys, hit the like button, please. Seals, would you agree if our offense could step up and limit time of possession and could give the defense time to develop? You mean like last year? The defense gave the offense the year off. The Eagle defense last year gave, during the regular season, the Eagle offense the entire year off in the passing game. They were one-dimensional, and they won because their defense was so sensational. Breaking news, Eagles are still the world champs. Congratulations to you, brother. Hey, that was one whale of a team you had. Watch this, Master Chief. That football team a month ago was unbelievable. Too bad you don't have that same team now. But hey, that team a month ago, one of the greatest, if not the greatest team in Eagle history. Absolutely true. Congratulations to you. And I mean that. That's just not the same team today. I had a call this morning, and all's well. Wouldn't blame Vic if he felt he had to have the same procedure. Hey, Chuck, I think Vic Fangio probably takes that as a tremendous opportunity and also a tremendous challenge. I think probably this is Vic Fangio's wheelhouse. Hey, you want to start over? I'll show you who the fuck I am. You want to start over? We're good. I'm good with it. We can do it again. Got to find the right type. Get this. I would say this to you about the Eagles signings. I am learning a lesson about Howie Roseman. Can I tell you? Hey, guys, what was the general manager's name again with the Sacramento Spurs? R.C. Buford? Do you know what his philosophy was when he was building that 5-time NBA championship team? And this is the guy that him and Howie went on this like sabbatical together, and they were talking about how to build teams and how to look at guys. And do you know what I think he learned from that? Because R.C. Buford said something years ago on how he built those Spurs teams. You know what he said? I'm going to look at every player on the planet. But not every player can play in San Antonio. It's about signing the right guy. And I think Howie has that mentality. He looks at everybody from coast to coast, no matter who he is. Then he's got to determine, is he the right guy? That's R.C. Buford's mentality on how he built those title teams. That was the core of that. And I think he's carried that with him in his second stint as general manager. You got Myles Garrett. We got Joshua Uche. Joshua Cucci. You got Laramie Tunsil. We got Kenyon. You got Javon Holland. We got Tristan McCullum. How he's got CTE from that beer bottle he got hit on the parade route. Nah. Hey, Brian, one thing they do have also, you forgot. They got Lombardi, too. Brian, always finish it off with takes like that with, oh, and they have Lombardi. You can't end a conversation without saying, oh, yeah, they got the Lombardi trophy. You cannot. I told you, February 10th, you cannot say anything without putting the words Lombardi trophy. Okay? Washington stepped up. Absolutely. They got a little better. No doubt. Is a little better enough to catch Philly? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you got better. Yes, Washington and the Rams and Detroit are good teams. I say Detroit's got a better roster right now than the Eagles. Turnover in coaches. I don't think it's a gigantic difference. But they got a better roster right now, Detroit. That doesn't win Super Bowls. Okay? That does not. Chicago got better. They get better enough to where you're going to put them in a conversation with Philly, Detroit, the Rams, and Washington? I don't think so. Dude, if we're gonna rank where the Eagles are to everyone else in the NFC, I would do this to you. Eagles are 10. They're the champs. Rams, I think the Rams are 7.5 and an 8. I think Washington and Detroit are probably right there as well. You still gotta do some dancing to get up there. Plus, You got to win. And you got to win consistently like they do. Let me tell you something that's going to be very beneficial to the Eagles. What do you think is going to be beneficial going into this season and into this offseason for the Eagles? What do you think is going to be beneficial? You know why? They've lived through this. They're not going to get their little hearts broken when they see a teammate of theirs being exited out of the building. This is commonplace. Do you know how tough it is when you're sitting in a place and you're on the cusp of losing Cooper Kupp? That's devastating to your locker room. Somebody you leaned on, a Super Bowl MVP. Oh, we've been through this. You know what they're creating? A next guy up mentality. Let me tell you what the next guy mentality up represents. In case some of you don't know, and you're not putting an equity on that. If you get drafted to Philadelphia right now, okay, and you're a second or third team guy, let me tell you what Moro Jomo was thinking when he saw Milton Williams get that contract in New England. Holy shit, it's my turn. Being patient, working hard, listening to Vic. I don't believe that guy's that much better than me. Fuck, I'm going to be that guy next. It's your chance at the brass ring. I want that. Do you know how many places don't give you that opportunity? 80% of the NFL, they panic and move off of players. Brandon Graham is the absolute poster child for that. I can't tell you how important that is for chemistry in the organization. That if you are next, if you're Jalix Hunt, and you learned all that shit from Josh Sweat, and you just saw Josh Sweat sign a $19 million annual deal, you know what I'm doing? Holy fuck, am I going to work my balls off this offseason to prove the organization made the right gamble on me in the third round to go out and be a fucking star. Places in the league don't offer that opportunity. And you're the world champs. You know what that opportunity means with the Jets? Nothing. Nothing. You know what it means at Philly? Winning. Money. Legacy. That's what you're building. Howie's telling his next group of dudes, your time. I don't think they're doing anything wrong. But don't go Google Goggle over these fucking nobodies you're signing. I mean, let me give you the list of nobodies you signed last year. And you signed a shitload of good players. 3 of them. Barkley, Becton, and Bond. And Burks. Will Greer, Devin White, Bryce Huff, Devontae Parker, Matt Hennessy, John Ross, Tyler Hall, PJ Mustapler, whatever, DT. These guys stunk. The thing you're selling, dude, the championship building and having a winning attitude in your organization. And when you're handing the baton to young players, my God, that's player development. That's believing. that you're the next dude. And you're the next great Eagle. I don't think you put a price tag on that. You know, it's a smaller version of it. But when we had Jerome Brown and myself at Miami, and then the next group were Cortez Kennedy and Russell Maryland behind us. And then the next group was Warren Sapp and Vince Wilfork. Those guys were all backups. They were backups to me and Jerome. And when their time came, they were ready. That's what you're doing here. Look at this guy. Living up. Yeah, well, Jerome missed 4 games that year. Completely outplayed him. Whatever, fuckhead. Sills, Howie's cost cuts and playing kids process only works because of the stability with Vic as the DC. This doesn't work. It's the scheme changes because coaches leave, like on the offensive side. Trust in Vic. Absolutely. Remember what Dave Wanstead said on this program? You know what he said? He said the scheme's not going to fail you. The players will. That was probably the biggest truth statement last year that a 3-time Super Bowl defensive coordinator could possibly have given. Was that Vic's going to do the things needed. Okay? Hey, man, would I like to sit here and take a shit on all this? Can't. Because you have to end everything by doing this. Lombardi Trophy. Three appearances, 8 years, 2 wins. Last 4 years going into 5, 700 win percentage. What the fuck are we talking about? You may not win back-to-back titles, but in the next 5 years, you're going to be competitive for it. Sills, we just signed Harrison Bryant for $2 million tight end Raiders. What do you think? Dallas is definitely gone. Swanky, I don't know who the kid is. He's an FAU kid. I don't even remember him down there. I cover all that stuff down there in South Florida. I don't remember him there. He's a blocking kid from what I understand. I think that tells you exactly what they're going to do this coming season. And why I still would not go to sleep on that A.J. Brown thing. So you get a back who's been averaging around 600 yards a year as a backup for Barkley, right? And you sign a blocking tight end. That doesn't sound like you're going to be upping the passing attempts anytime soon. And you're talking of moving off of Goddard. Does that sound like you're going to be throwing the ball more? I see you switch back to your old anti-Eagle shtick after Bill Colorillo called you out. Who the fuck is that? Oh, the guy who used to pay to be on this station. I got it. And what have I said negative? See this dickhead? What if I said? I said you're doing everything right, you fucking idiot. What in the world have I said that's negative? I talked to this guy wants a reach around because you know why? He's still drunk on the float. Who the fuck is this? And who the fuck is Bill Colorillo? An underpaid guy on the air in Philly, making $50,000. Great. On a station that should be classic rock. Holy shit. Wake me up in 10 years if he's still in the business. Hit the like button. Give me a total on the likes. I just wasted 6 seconds of my time talking about Bill Cunnilingus. I mean, hey, I don't know. I don't know what's funnier, Bill Cunnilingus or what is it? Joshua Uche. Yeah. Hey, brother Hannibal. Yeah, Bill's on the Bill's the that 97.5 is like the knockoff Rolex WIP. Always remember that. Joshua Uche. Hey, he's a dude. He might be somebody. You know, I don't know. I really don't. Hey, get this. You see what some of these guys like that dude has to have? Anti-ego. What have I said? I have no problem with anything they've done. Not one problem. Well, not one problem. It's the price of winning. Sileo's anti-ego. What are you talking about? Dude, you got a serious case of syphilis because you can't remember shit. I actually don't mind that. If you're a good find, a paisan, I'm good with you. Okay? I'm all right. If you want to call it 94 WIP 94 WOP WAP, I'm good. Anything that's Italian reference, I'm in. Let's see what they do with Edge, and let's see what, hey, this is going to be more what Vic's going to do with this collection of dudes. And do I think Vic can make this thing out of chicken shit into chicken soup again? Yeah. Yeah, I do. I do. All right. Xander's going to join us at the bottom of the hour. Farzetta's going to join us at 4:30, and Mark Schlereth will join us at 5:30. Hit the like button. Supers go to the top. I appreciate you guys. Yes, the Eagles have a new quarterback coach, kid from Georgia. Good stuff. Hey, anybody from that coaching staff or that roster, I'm good. Montgomery Van Gorda. Looks like he belongs at the Philly Library. Yes, Montgomery, where is the textbooks? Yeah, our stiff dude over there, Bill Cunnilingus, will show you where the tax code is. Yeah. Truth, justice, and Big Sil's way. Can I get a elite dual threat? Don Dotson. Of course you can. Welcome to the National Beach. Q, I love it. This guy didn't like the, hey, I'm sorry, honey. You don't like the way I talk? A little harsh on my approach. Is it okay? Yeah, you all right? I know. Big Sills could be a little rough. Okay? I'm not for the faint of heart. I get it. You all right? Everybody? Oh. Yeah. Bill Cunnilingus and Menstrual Mike. That's some show. Hey, hit the like button. Want to throw this at you here. And you tell me. Now, I'm not going to piss on our folks. Only the plants. Okay? Only the plants. From 97.5, easy listening. And hearing guys say, I can't come on your show, Sills, because you're our competition. and we're afraid of you. Okay. Bro, you're not my competition. That Philly sex thing or sports, whatever, that's not my competition. You know whose competition that is? That's not even Philly 500's competition. Okay? I couldn't even tell you whose competition it is. All right? Let me ask you this question. Hit the like button, guys. Supers go to the top. Thank you guys for building us up. Everyone gets a little upset with us. Or no, wait, I take that back. Everyone gets upset with me. Okay? They get upset with me and you. You understand that? Because here's what I do. Listen, here's the difference between me and you. In Xander. Born, raised. This guy pisses green. Nothing wrong with that. I look at it, every year is like a chapter in a book. It's a different chapter. And they're trying to tell you a story. One chapter is going to be exceptional. The next chapter, it's like watching The Sopranos. Not every series or episode was great, but the collective group was outstanding. That's what you got here. Hang in there. Sills ain't messing around. Sills in 6 rounds. Shit. You think it'd take me that long to knock them dudes out? I think I knocked them guys out already about, 3 years ago. How you doing? Filth Vader. I'll mow you all down. Don't care. Still, stop paying silly dudes any attention. True. If anyone has the stick, it's Brian Pumper. Heck, I can't tell if that guy supports the Eagles or not. Well, if he's here and the amount of supers he throws in and he's supporting this show, let me tell you, man, he supports the Eagles. And I love Brian Pumper, as I do you, Anthony. Sills is Prime Tyson. All those gloves. Yes, sir. Let me ask you a serious question out here about what you're doing here. And again, watch this. You ready? Thank you. I love that Italian flag there too, by the way. I don't. All right. Do you spend too much of your equity and your cap on one side of the ball? Do you have a problem with it? Sills, we just won the fucking Super Bowl doing it. Do I have a bloody nose? I get it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, every time I throw a topic out, even in my own head, I got a conversation. I'm talking to you, and I'm also doing this. Wait a minute. Let me check for blood and blows and nosebleeds. Let me check for this. Won a Super Bowl. Right? You spend a shitload of money on one side of the football. Okay? You're all right with that approach. Well, again, Lombardi Trophy. Yeah, I have to do that. And I don't need idiotic M. Reyes to point that out. Seals, you can't say nothing without bashing, and you're not bashing. I'm not bashing any. I think the Eagles are doing a fabulous job at trying to limit the dam from breaking. Price of being a champ. Who would you rather be right now, Dallas Cowboys or the Eagles? I mean, really. God forbid. You know why? The Cowboys have no culture. The Cowboys have no direction. And the Cowboys have no leadership. The number one problem in Dallas, the face of the franchise, is not Jalen Hurts or Dak Prescott. It's the owner. If the face of the franchise is the owner, you got major problems. You can't. The face of the culture with the Jets is Woody Johnson. That's the difference. Howie's the architect. The quarterback's the face of the franchise. Will only work if draft picks on defense hit. That's correct. That's correct. Yes. Absolutely. Jeff McClain. I'd expect the Eagles to continue to shop the bargain rack for depth pieces and potential upside based on various factors, as they did with Joshua Uche, A.J. Dillon. One name to look at is Jack Gibbons. Oh, dang. Last year you shopped at the dollar store and it worked. Great deals. Turned out to be, you know what you do? Howie shops at a flea market. And occasionally he lands on a Honus Wagner card that has been dressed up something different. Let me see. Like a Jay Johnstone card. Yeah. Okay. Hey, how he goes to like flea markets, yard sales, and estate sales. And he goes, look at that, a Jay Johnstone. Look at that old 1980s Jay Johnstone. Look at that baseball card. Wait a minute. Is there something under that? Holy shit, there's a Honus Wagner. That's what he does. Sometimes he finds Jay Johnstone, and sometimes he finds Honus Wagner. Sometimes he finds Zach Bond, and then sometimes he finds Devin White. That's why there's such big swings. Okay? But he wins. Watch this. Lombardi Trophy. Great take, Sills. Joshua Uche. I saw everyone going, hey, this guy's got tremendous upside. I mean, the fucking same bullshit that you hear all the time. Upside. Yeah, all right, yeah. You know the upside is? He's cheap. And it won't kill me if the guy stinks, which is more likely than not. It's a nothing gamble. That if it pays off, dude, the nothing gamble with Zach Bond. That's the ultimate diamond in the rough. That's like Zach Bond was like finding the Hope Diamond in a mud puddle. Yeah, I know. Look at Yale. I heard that about Bond. Yeah, I'm sure that'll repeat itself too, right, Yale? Because you've heard so many of those stories. Are you still beefing with Seth? Who? Seth Joyner was a hell of a football player. As a broadcaster, whatever. Are you in my world now? That guy still lives off of Gang Green. I get it. Broadcaster? We're good. Jay Johnstone was excellent. 99% of the people in it don't know who the fuck Jay Johnstone is, Wayne. So the way we're talking, you would think Uche is the next Reggie White. Oh, I know. Hey, he runs a 4.4 40. Hey, really? Is he a good football player? What's his last 4 years been again? 41 games and 4 sacks. Hey, but Vic will pull out the very best in him. He probably will, but what is that? The 10 sacks he had with Belichick? Always follow the money. Difference between Cowboys and Eagles? Well, one is significant. They win. Eagles pay early. Absolutely. Get market value. Absolutely. Dallas pays late. It gets taken to the cleaners. Dak Prescott, $90 million cap. You know what else they do? And I said it yesterday, and I want you guys to understand one thing that the Eagles, two things that the Eagles do exceptionally well every year with that general manager. They are patient and disciplined. Patient and disciplined. They are not going to stray off the reservation. And if they do, make me want to make that deal. Look at this. Gardner-Johnson's not old. They didn't want him on the team. I'm sorry. I don't care. Especially if they signed Justin Simmons to an $8 million deal. That'll just tell you they hated the kid. If you sign a free agent at $8 million to play safety, you hated that guy. Even if it's $5 million. You hated him. Okay? Hey, by the way, all kidding aside, John McMullen does a sensational job. Big Seals could take a couple shots here and there. I give John a few. We're good. We're men. Okay? I want Keegan to start at right guard. Probably so do the Eagles. Hey, you know what? Right there's a great example of something. I think Trevor Keegan was underdrafted. I think he's underdrafted. That's my take. He's underdrafted. Because if he were to go, how high do you think a guy who had 30-some-odd starts at Michigan was the captain of the football team? How high do you think he would go this year if he were to be drafted? Second round? The year he came out, it was one of the deepest offensive line drafts in the last 15 years. Willie Montanez. I forgot that guy's name, Yale. That's a better one. Philly 500 has more credibility than Bill and Mike. I mean, yeah, sure. Such a phenomenal show. I listened. It's all right. Hey, you morons still crying about CJ? Next. Don't fall in love with your players. Fall in like. Who cares? It's about making the roster, chemistry, all of that. That's what this comes down to. Right. Hey, watch this. Gardner-Johnson, thank you. Helped win the Super Bowl. Helped us get to another one. I hope you have a great time in Houston. I have a great feeling you're going to have a great time with D'Amico Ryans. Probably going to be a great time for you. What is this, your 18th team in 3 weeks? It's all good. Hey, thank you very much. You can go put all your Taylor Swift shirts on down there and insult everyone down there. It's all good. We love you. Hey, Milton, I love you to death. Honest to God. 26 mil? I don't think so. But hey, I'm sure the Patriots in the next 4 years are going to be a Super Bowl contender with you. That's if you fulfill your deal. Sweat, I hope you need us in blowout. Thank you very much. You were an awesome player for us. Great. See you later. Fuck out of here. You guys fall in love with these guys. Bye. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. Care how fucking talented you are. The key to the success of the Eagles is how they manage the cap and the roster. Plain and simple. Faceless names. That's how they look at their defense. Faceless names. Darius Slay to them, at the end of the day, was a 4-year rental. Yeah. Hey, Marcus, I will make a prediction to you. Jalen Hurts will never make the money Josh Allen makes. Ever. He ain't getting north of $65 million. Ever. We'll find out how much you love him. I think the longer Becton's in the building, I think the longer there's a good chance he may be re-signed. We lease our defense. We don't buy. Great call. Great call. Yeah. What you do is you buy your nice car over on offense. And you lease your defense. That's right. Hey, I'm going to lease that thing over there. And I'm talking about a collected group. Not Jalen Carter. One guy don't make a defense. Collective group. Even Lawrence Taylor back in the day. Chip Banks. Harry Carson. Leonard Marshall. Jim Burt. That whole group of players they had. Banks. It was a unit that made that team. Same with Reggie. Jerome. Simmons. Joyner. Hopkins. Waters. Allen. It's the group. Ringless Allen. Whatever. I'll tell you what he is. Rich old man. Sills, I'll make a prediction. Allen will never win a Super Bowl. Ever. Have the Bills ever? Our offense should be able to put up 35 points per game. Yeah. Our defense should only need to make, 3 stops a game? Maybe. What players are untradeable on the Eagles? Hurts, because he fits what they're doing. Right now, Barkley, not for long, though. Another 2 years. After that, I'll get rid of him. Mulata, Carter. Hurts, Barkley, Mulata, Carter. You can't put Q and Cooper in there yet. They played 1 fucking year. Landon, not getting rid of him. Landon's untradeable. Too good, too expensive, too old. So he's just, so you put Lane in there. Now, next year, it could be Q, Cooper, Carter on that defense. It could be. Jordan Mailata is arguably the best player on that team. Young, great, athletic, enormous. He's probably underpaid. Jordan Mailata is a fucking great football player. Him and Carter are just spectacular. I mean, spectacular. And this is the sign of the Eagles. A 7th-round pick and the 9th pick. You can't have any more of a statement about your organization than that. Your 2 best players on your team that you drafted are Mailata and Carter. The 9th pick and a 7th rounder. It's incredible. You know, Yale goes, Carter's getting better. He is. So is Mailata. Let me ask you something. If you put Jordan Mailata on the open market and you put Jalen Carter on the open market, who would command more teams? I think it's Mailata. You can live without a DT. You can't live without a talented OT. You don't have the O-line, you can't win. Shit, you got to a Super Bowl a couple years ago with an old dude and Javon Hargrave. Micah Parsons not signed. Will deal get done? It's Dallas. You know what Dallas will do? They'll wait until the 23rd hour, not do anything in free agency, blow the kid up, and then sign him and be behind in free agency and then tell people they're close to the Eagles. How many times do you get to lie to somebody before you go, you're lying? The Cowboys have no substance of success. All they do is tell you and flap their gums. That business plan in Dallas versus the business plan in what Howie's doing right now. Look at what he's doing. Do you think Jerry Jones, let me show you the difference. You think Jerry Jones would have blew up that defense? You know what Jerry would have did? He would have signed Sweat. He would have signed Milton Williams. He would have signed Zach Bond. And then you know what he does? He pushes the can down the road. And that's why at the end of the day, you're getting rid of great players in Dallas. Because they don't structure the contracts correctly. They kick the can down the road. And they don't want to pay their bills until they have to. It's like driving around in a car on E all day. You eventually have to put fucking gas in the car. Jerry doesn't want to fill it up, so he's constantly filling his car up. Eagles are going to fill it up once. They're going to go as long as they can. Then they're going to do the right thing. The Eagles do the right thing in how they build their roster. It may not be yearly. They don't fall off the planet like the Rams did. I don't have one problem with what the Eagles are doing so far. They're the champs. Here, let me show you something here. Did Kansas City win the Super Bowl a couple of years ago? 2 different styles. They won it throwing the ball with Mahomes, right? Then they turned around and won a Super Bowl playing defense. That could be this scenario. They won 2 different styles. That may go on here. I don't know. On March 13th, what would you give Howie Roseman? Sills and how he's operating. Hey. I'm not falling in love with these fucking moves that you guys, the tight end. Oh, okay, sure. Joshua. Joe. Uche? Coochie? I don't know. B+. You extended Barkley. You signed Bond. You're setting up your future and salary for your young players. You've got a shitload of picks in the next 2 years. It's March 13th. B+? Holy shit. I'm shocked. I give him a higher grade than you. Getting rid of Kenny Gainwell. Hey, that was a significant blow. Eagle fans, you know what? You're like a heartbeat. Hey, you be a little leveler. You be calm like me. Holy shit. Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt, Bryce Huff, Joshua Uche. That's my new favorite name. Joshua Uche. Like Joshua Coochie. Holy shit. Man. Guy runs a 4.3 cells. Oh, okay. How about them 4 sacks in 41 games? This guy can't play first and second down. Hey, let me tell you something. If you thought Bryce Huff needed a bag of bricks in his pants to play the edge against the run, this guy needs a cement mixer, okay, to play the edge in the run. Holy cow. Scott McMullen taking shots at big cells. That's all right. He got it. You know why he's taking shots at big cells? Because he signed his boy, Van McMullen. That's why he got hot. And by the way, they listed him at fullback. Let me show you something here before we bring Xander in. Barzett at 4:30 and Mark Schlereth at 5:30. Ask yourself this. Does this tell you a little sign of what they're going to do this year? They listed Van Sumeren or Van Helsing at fullback, not linebacker. They signed a run-blocking tight end just now from the Raiders. They just signed another running back, and this kid Dylan. Are they going to take the third wide receiver out of the offense and run a fullback offense like they do in Baltimore? Looks to me like a little bit more of a commitment to running the ball. Without further ado, the man who is celebrating, Joshua, let me get it right, Uche. Hey, by the way, it's $1 million. You know what that is in NFL world? That's like paying Bill Colarudo to be on the air. That's what that is. Without further ado, it is my boy who co-hosts with John McMullen, one of the best shows in Philly. Birds 365, my boy, Big Z. Xander Krause. How you doing?
What's up, Big Cells? How you doing, brother?